This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life. Little Linga's confidence deserts her as she takes her first steps on British soil.
What we hadn't realised is that she's never actually walked on grass before.
An operation on chimp Brian's teeth reveals the damage caused from his traumatic past life.
This is more interesting than I thought.
And stump-tailed macaque Coco gets a helping hand.
Why walk when you can have a ride?
It's early morning at Monkey World, and over in the Orangutan nursery, baby Linga has arrived from Paris. But she needs some encouragement from Alison to take her first steps outside.
What we hadn't realised is that she's never actually walked on grass before. So this is all a bit of a new experience for her, and the first of many, I hazard to say. She's quite curious and gregarious, because as a complete stranger to her, I'm shocked that she's sort of so open and friendly and welcoming to me. So that's a good sign, you know, with everybody that she has to meet in the orangutan nursery in the coming days. It's going to be very good that she's gregarious.
Linga might be confident with people, but she's not with the big wide world outside her travelling box. The team needs a plan. In Paris, Jeremy discovered something about Linga's character that may just help them.
Very polite. She's obviously a professional eater. But we can use that to our advantage.
And at the park, her appetite is indeed their bargaining tool.
And she had another drink.
And why settle for one grape when a whole bag is available?
Wait, what are you doing? My bag. My bag.
Linga is no fool. It's back to the safety of her travelling box.
You didn't teach this thing some manners.
No, I reckon she got that from you in the last 2 days.
The little 2-year-old's love of food is more important to her than her fear of grass, and it's not long before she's following a grape trail around the enclosure. And now she's out, Alison's going to do her best to keep Linga out of the box.
Yeah, I've sort of sat in the entrance to the box, so it isn't so easy for her. She can always push past, but it isn't quite so easy for her just to go strolling back in. And she's starting to mooch about and check things out.
Linga's French keepers travelled with her to Monkey World.
Hey, Linga!
And they're really helping her settle down. Linga had better take full advantage of having the enclosure and food to herself, because tomorrow she's going to meet her new family, and she'll have to learn to share. Over in the Chimp Nursery, Brian has been separated from the rest of the group. He's been at the park for a few weeks now. He's settling in well and loves putting animal manager Jeremy through his paces.
Go on, leave me alone. No. Stop it. Stop it. His greatest pleasure in life is to have a fight. So I go in there and say, hello, Brian, and yeah, we'll have a fight. OK, we've had a fight, and you've had your laugh. Now, can we relax for a while? No, we can't relax. We'll have another fight. Oh! Stop it. You know, I'm getting a bit old for it. Can we just do something else for a minute? No, gotta have another fight. I'm too old, I'm too tired, and I don't like you.
Brian looks healthy enough, but his past may be catching up with him. Before coming to Monkey World, he was being trained as a beach photographer's prop in Mexico.
Good boy, Brian.
When Alison and her late husband Jim first met Brian, they were shocked by what they found. All but 4 of his teeth had been knocked out. His owner didn't want him biting the tourists he was being forced to pose with.
We've seen it before with many primates where the front teeth get removed, but never all of them. So we were trying to figure out how somebody could have, it would have been a big operation to remove every single tooth in the poor little guy's head.
You come be with me.
Chimps grow 2 sets of teeth, just like humans. Brian's lost his baby teeth, so he still has a set of permanent teeth yet to grow. And the team are taking no chances. Brian's adult teeth could have been damaged by harsh treatment. It's important to find out just how much harm has been done. Vets John Lewis and David Harding are here to run X-rays and carry out any medical attention that little Brian might need.
Don't ever assume that an animal isn't in pain, because it's not good for them to show it. If you show you're in pain, then you're weak, and if you're weak, you're going to be capitalised upon. So, and he's so tough anyway. I mean, he could be in agony or not. I don't think he is, but, we'll sort it out.
Later, wildlife vet John Lewis is concerned by what he finds.
It's rotten. It's the wrong colour, which indicates it's probably dead. It has to go. So I may as well get on with it while the X-rays are being developed.
And at the other side of the park, stump-tailed macaque Coco has settled in well. She's even got 2 geriatric boys all to herself.
I don't think they're in love, but they're not grumbling at each other like old people do.
Inside the chimpanzee nursery, Monkey World's youngest chimps, Ash and Rodders, have been given toy balls to play with. But it looks like Rodders is more interested in the box. Playtime is just as vital for young chimps as it is for human kids. It allows them to learn, develop and find their own unique personalities. This pair are now 2 years old. Their mums unfortunately rejected them, but being around the same age means they can grow up together. Rodders and Ash couldn't be more different. For Rodders, the balls are all about having fun. But Ash is more inquisitive. She's trying to crack the balls open, just in case there's a hidden treat waiting for her inside. Back with Brian. He's safely under anaesthetic in the medical room and is being prepared for his X-rays. Wildlife vet John Lewis needs these so he can assess the damage caused to Brian's mouth from having his teeth knocked out.
The X-rays have been taken. They now need to be developed, so we'll wait for them to be developed. And while we're waiting, we're going to have a look at the mouth to see if there's anything obvious I can just remove, like little tips of, temporary teeth or whatever. So I can be doing that while the X-rays are being developed. When they come back, we can confirm that I'm taking out all I need to take out. So what actually has he got left in here?
John immediately spots a problem with one of Brian's remaining teeth.
That looks like dead old tooth to me. But the question is whether he's got roots up here, which the X-rays will help to tell us.
Although chimpanzees are very good at masking pain, this tooth is likely to be causing him discomfort.
It's rotten. It's the wrong colour, which indicates it's probably dead. It's moving, which it shouldn't do. So even if that were a permanent tooth, it has to go. So I may as well get on with it while the X-rays are being developed. Just trying to see the extent of the rotten tooth. But I can feel another tooth behind it. Well, in fact, literally behind him. So it looks as if this tooth is actually sitting in front of, not on top of, but in front of another tooth. And I rather think that we got a temporary to the front that's probably disturbing a permanent tooth erupting, trying to erupt. And I don't know whether, I was wondering why I could feel so much tooth here, but actually I think it's another tooth. That is very odd.
Brian's only 3, so he should still have his baby teeth. But as they were forcibly removed, his adult teeth are coming through prematurely.
Perfectly normal molars coming through there. And where my thumb is, looks like the tip of a perfectly normal canine.
John suspects that Brian's adult tooth is directly behind the rotten one. He needs to be very cautious.
Before I go digging any further around the back of what I think is the temporary tooth that has to come out, I want to be sure that I'm not going to damage the tip of the canine coming through. So I'm just going to hang fire. He's all right, so I've got no time pressure. The X-rays will be here in about 5 minutes.
Later on, the results are back, and they are not what wildlife vet John Lewis expected.
It is a permanent, you know. And it's a shattered permanent. This is more interesting than I thought.
And in Paddys Troop, little Eddie is growing up fast. But how will she take to another baby in the group?
The primate care staff will do everything possible to keep Eddie happy so that Mum can get on with what she needs to do with the next step. Hopefully she gets pregnant and has a baby.
At Monkey World in the medical room, wildlife vet John Lewis is assessing the damage caused to Chimp Brian's mouth. Before coming to the park, Brian was being trained as a beach photographer's prop and had his teeth forcibly removed. The X-rays are back. And, after close inspection, the results are not what John suspected. He believed Brian had a rotten baby tooth, but...
It is a permanent, you know. And it's a shattered permanent tooth. This is more interesting than I thought.
Because you can't see it permanent.
He believed the problem tooth was a temporary with an adult one behind, but this is not the case. And even though the tooth is permanent, it's rotten, so will still need to be removed.
And out it comes. Oh, yeah. Very damaged tooth.
Yeah,
Gosh, that is weird, isn't it?
it does look very strange.
It looks like a rather small permanent tooth, but it's been shattered or broken in earlier life. It's distorted, it hasn't got the right kind of root structure. There should be a longer root on it. You can see the enamel's been damaged here.
Yeah.
And that piece, presumably, at one point, wasn't there at all.
It's likely this tooth was shattered when Brian had his temporary teeth knocked out in Mexico. Only time will tell if more of his permanent teeth have been damaged.
Yeah, I'm happy we've taken out an abnormal broken tooth. Fine, so that problem is over. But I want the dentist to now look at the quality of the permanent teeth coming through and the number of permanent teeth coming through and so on. And then we can make a prediction, a more accurate prediction as to what will happen next. But I think he'll probably be okay now. So it's good.
Brian won't need any stitches. This hole ought to heal within a week, and it shouldn't cause him any pain. He's going to feel a lot more comfortable after this operation. Later, Hanania's adult chimp group prove you are never too old to have fun. And stump-tailed macaque Coco is settling well into park life, with a helping hand from animal manager Jeremy. Monkey World's 59 chimpanzees are split into 4 groups. The largest and most settled is Paddys Troop. The birth of Eddie 5 years ago contributed greatly to the harmony of the group. She is the park's first chimp to grow up with her mum, Susie, and extended family.
Little baby Eddie, she's grown up, tremendously within the group. It's brought the group together, and Eddie's now 5, and she's, virtually fully weaned. Since Eddie came along, the group calmed down so much more. It was amazing, It really brought the group so much closer together. So we've had a meeting, and it's been decided that we'll take Susie off the pill again and let Susie have another baby.
This isn't the park's normal practice.
The policy of Monkey World is, with the chimpanzees, there's a no breeding policy. The reason for that is the background that the chimps have come from, that don't have the natural instincts to actually rear youngsters of their own. But when Susie got pregnant and gave birth, we were all amazed and shocked. She held Eddie the right way, Eddie was suckling, you know, everything we could have asked for, Susie did. So 5 years down the line, it's been decided, you know, that we'll give Susie another opportunity to get pregnant again. But, you know, we'll wait and see what happens.
In the wild, chimpanzees give birth every 6 to 8 years, so the timing is right for Susie to have another baby. And it'll be interesting to see how her first daughter, Eddie, will react.
Eddie, she's been spoiled rotten by the whole group, you know. So we're all sort of thinking, well, you know, is she going to be spoiled? Is she going to get upset? You know, but the primate care staff will do everything possible to keep Eddie happy so that Mum can get on with what she needs to do with the next step. Hopefully she gets pregnant and has a baby. But, you know, fingers crossed she'll be okay.
It's not just babies like Ash and Rodders who enjoy playtime. Some of Hananya's group have also been given toy balls to play with. Hopefully they'll get as much out of them as the little ones do. There's also a new face in the group. 8-year-old Johnny has recently moved in from the Chimp Nursery. Johnny lived here for 5 years, and as she grew, so did her confidence. The Chimp Nursery is used as a stepping stone for babies who are either rejected by their mums or arrive at the park at a young age. Sally is the park's designated chimp foster mum. She teaches all who pass through the nursery about chimp life, so it's easier for them when it's time to move on. And her perfect teaching skills have built up the young chimp's confidence to such an extent that, remarkably, Johnny's already beginning to show signs of dominance over some of Hananya's troop. She's happy to take what she wants from whom she wants, and the others let her do it. Johnny's confidence is a testament to the park's methods. Having chimps grow up with chimps is vital to their development. If Johnny carries on like this, she will be living with the whole troop in no time, and it looks like the troop are going to have to look out. Monkey World is home to 11 stump-tailed macaques. The newest member is 21-year-old Coco. She's been living at the park for the last 8 months and is settling well. She's been teamed up with the geriatric boys, Roland and Gerald.
Roland's a really, really old man and he doesn't do an awful lot. And Gerald's a very, very old man, not quite as old as Roland, and he doesn't do a lot either. They've both still got attitude. Gerald more than Roland, but I wouldn't say they're really close, but they get on fine. You know, they're not, I don't think they're in love, but they're not grumbling at each other like old people do. So they just grumble, you know, grumpy old men and a grumpy old woman, and they just grumble at each other, and that's fine. Everybody's happy.
Many of the stumpies are old. They all arrived at the park overweight and unfit, so their enclosure has been designed with their physical capabilities in mind. This may be the monkey equivalent of a nursing home, but all of the stumpies, including Coco, are improving.
She's never going to be an athlete, but she can do everything she needs to do. She can climb around where she needs to go. She can do everything she needs to do. Everything she's got here is going to help her and make her more flexible, make her more mobile, make her more comfortable.
Before coming to Monkey World, Coco spent 20 years in a small cage in a pet shop in Budapest. She was extremely overweight and unfit. No one knows how severely this life may have affected her, physically and mentally. Her rehabilitation was carefully planned. A skin disorder had to be treated, she needed to lose weight, and she needed to become more mobile. Animal manager Jeremy became a firm friend.
In fact, very often she'll go to sleep in like bliss as I'm brushing her hair, and that can only be a positive thing.
Today, Coco may be 21, but she can still act like a child. Particularly at bedtime, when she needs her best friend to tuck her in for the night.
Now, Coco has only just started to come outside properly, and she's very good, aren't you, sweetheart? But sometimes she's not all that keen on going back to bed, and she'll just sit there and just sit there. So we get the other blokes in, and then I'll come in and carry her in. And first time I did it, she just sat there and she put her little arms up, you know, come on, pick me up, obviously. So I did. So that's what we're doing now. She's just going to bed in our time rather than her time. Because we actually have a home to go to, Coco. You all right? Are you comfy there? He's a good girl. Come on, otherwise they'll have eaten all the food. You wouldn't want that now, would you? Hey? Okay, Anne-Sophie. In you go. Good girl. Okay. There you go. It's quite simple, really. You know, why walk when you can have a ride?
Next time, Linga meets her new family in the Orangutan nursery, but Jolie is not impressed.
Jolie thinks of Ame as her mum, and she's not going to share her mum.
In the bachelor pad, a pile of blankets brings out Buxom's greedy side. And chimpanzee Jimmy has a very serious leg wound.
I can see how close the bone is to the surface, and it's extremely close. And yes, he could lose that leg, easily.